All right, guys, do me a favor. Y'all, please ignore the background noise. I'm gonna try to talk as loud as I can to get out and to talk over this. I know y'all reading the title and say, "Man, what? Coach defended Joe Rogan? Coach, hey man, how could he defend Joe Rogan?" I'm not defending him. Okay, I'm not defending Joe Rogan. I'm actually, I wanted to see how many people would just look at the title and just assume that I was defending him. Because you get people like that read the title and they don't watch the video, and then they'll click a like or dislike based on the title. I get people like that all the time. Crazy. I'm not defending him, okay? Okay, I'm gonna start this video out like this, okay? To those of y'all that you're defending what Joe Rogan said, okay, you're defending the man, okay? You're gonna defend him to the ends of the earth, okay? I'm not here to change your mind. I'm just here to really just say, hey, you know what? If the N word is such a bad word, if that's really a bad word, why would you want to say that word? Or why would you condone anybody using that word? Now, the first thing that the racist person is going to do, they're going to say, well, coach, you took it out of context, or you're being overly sensitive. Well, why is it that people try to tell you, right? They try to tell you, oh, Ticket TV. They try to tell you how to be offended. Like, it's like they tell you that that you can and can't be offended. They tell you that, well, you shouldn't be offended. Like, who the hell are you to tell me what offends me? Y'all ever get that in comment sections? Or people ever tell you that you shouldn't be offended? And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, who the hell are you to tell me that I shouldn't be offended? I shouldn't be offended? I mean, because you said I shouldn't? How do you explain that? So I shouldn't be offended because you thought that I shouldn't be offended. Stupid. So Joe Rogan, he's made a career, and I've been telling y'all this for years that this man is racist. Every single since the Planet of the Apes comment. And see, you'll even have some racist people that come in the comment section and say, well, really, Joe Rogan saying the N-word is not, that's not black people's problem. The problem is black people killing black people, and so really, they'll just give Joe Rogan a complete pass. They'll just give Joe Rogan a complete pass, okay? Because that's their go-to card. That's the racist go-to card, okay? Black people killing black people. Him saying the N-word and black people problem. Black people need to worry about this and black people need to worry about that. Here's the thing, man. Why is it that when black people are offended, okay, we're told that that's taken out of context. We're told that we're just too sensitive. Like when black people are offended, that's okay. Like all the other races of people, they get in on it, they start laughing, they start making fun because they think it's funny too. But then when you offend them, when you say something offensive that they don't like, oh, well, this black person is terrible. This black, man, he shouldn't have said that, man. Then it's like they get all sensitive. Like, what the hell? Why is it? Why is that? That person gets sensitive, and I'll ask people all the time, okay, well, if Joe Rogan saying the N-word is okay, right? That's offensive to black people, but Joe Rogan saying the N-word is okay, then how would you feel? Okay, and if it's a Caucasian person, I'll say, how would you feel if somebody called you the C-word when they addressed you? Hey, what's up, my C-word? How you doing? I mean, how would you feel? It don't even sound right, do it? Like, how would you feel if somebody that when they saw you, that's how they addressed you? Every single solitary time they saw you, that's how they addressed you. Is that acceptable? And I'm asking a question. Okay, I'm asking a question, is that acceptable? Now you'll have some people, well, I don't really care. I don't care what people say. Yeah, okay. Let somebody say something racially insensitive to you every day. Okay, for 365 days and you're gonna flip, you're gonna snap. I promise you will. Okay, you're going to flip out. You're going to snap, okay? Or, if it's an Hispanic, hey, if somebody says something racially insensitive to you, is that okay? Because people got a lot of racial slurs for Hispanics, Guys, I don't use any race. I don't use them. I don't need to. I don't really care to. It's just something that's not, programmed into my DNA. I just don't really care to. If I have to have a conversation with somebody, I don't have to call them out their name. If I'm arguing with somebody, I get mad at somebody, I don't have to call them a racial slur because I'm not thinking about it. Or, I say to the Russian, hey, what if somebody called you, and Russian people get these names that they call, man. lot of people got names for Russians. Like, what if somebody called you a Russian slur every day of your life for 365 days a week? Is that acceptable? Tell me, is it acceptable? Is it something that you're going to condone? Is it something that you're going to tolerate day in and day out? Is it acceptable? I mean, please explain to me. I mean, you have to explain. Because if you're telling me that you won't care, yes, you will. Yes, you will. Okay, if somebody says it to you 365 days a year, every day of your life, I guarantee you, you will care. Because it's something that, why would you want to say that? The same reason why would you defend Joe Rogan using the N-word? Why would you defend that? Hell, the man, and of course he racist. What, did we take out of context that, when he went into the movie theater, that he thought he was already in Planet of the Apes? He was coming to watch the movie Planet of the Apes and he thought he was already there. I mean, is that racist? Did we take that out of context? You see, the reason why that you're sitting there saying we took it out of context because he's not insulting you. He's not insulting you or your people or your culture or your kind. He's not insulting you. But I'd be damned if he was. Oh, you'd have something to say about it. You'd be upset. You'd be trying to cancel him just like everybody else. But when black people are offended, nobody really cares. Ain't nobody going to cancel Joe Rogan because, nobody's going to he's not going to get canceled. I know Spotify are taking off, a lot of his episodes and a lot of his streaming podcasts. I know they are. Guys, man, boy, do you really think that the UFC, they're going to cancel him? No. He's still going to be sitting right up there calling fights. The UFC, they're going to keep him. He's going to be there calling them fights because he's in a good old boy network. He's in a good old boy network, okay? They love Joe Rogan. They love him. They love him. They're not going to let him go. And you know what? People like DC, they're going to sit right beside him like the man ain't said nothing. And probably guys like Daniel Cormier be like, oh, well, Joe, I know what you meant, man. People are just, Joe, you're okay with me. And see, people like Daniel Cormier, okay? And if I'm wrong, okay, I'll retract this. But people like DC, they'll laugh at the racist jokes and knowing that they're racist to try to fit in or to keep, to keep the friendship with Joe Rogan. And I'm sure DC was one of the first people Joe Rogan called. Hey, DC, man, I didn't mean anything by that, man. Come on, man. You know I didn't. Hey, Joe, no problems here, Joe. I got you, Joe. Oh, I'm finna sneeze, y'all. Hey, ooh. Dang, I sneezed that racist right out of it. Whoa, oh, sorry. Oh, but he's still on the screen. Dang, it didn't work. But people like DC, they probably called, Joe Rogan probably called DC and tried to, apologize to him. Or he probably called Rashad Evans and tried to apologize. He probably called a lot of the black people that he have to work with to try to explain to him and justify because he know he got to see those people when he do a commentary. He know he got to see them. I'm pretty sure. And all of them probably forgave him. They all probably forgave him. I know if I'm black, I wouldn't interview with him. There's no way that any black athlete, should be doing post-fight interviews. You shouldn't be going on the Joe Rogan Extreme podcast if you're a black athlete. There's no way that you should be there. If this man racially insults you using the N-word, because that's what he thinks. If the man bold enough to say that when he got into the movie theater, he thought he was in Planet of the Apes, if he bold enough to say it, that's what he thinks about you. That's his thoughts. It is what it is. That's what the man think about you. If you black, there's no way you should be on that Joe Rogan podcast. Because if you are, that means you condone what he said. I know if I was a black athlete, I don't care how big that podcast is. There's no way I'd be on it. Nope. I wouldn't do it. Can't sell out, man. And it's people like, people that still go and they do interviews with DJ Vlad. I don't even know how you can do an interview with that dude, man. All the racial stuff that dude done said. But going on Joe Rogan show, nah. Anybody black, man, they need to not invest. And then you have black people. There's black people that's defending Joe Rogan. Oh, he didn't mean it the way y'all think he meant it. Well, okay, how did he mean it? Explain to me, how do y'all think he meant it? What did Joe Rogan mean by the stuff that he said? Okay, please explain. How did he mean it? Y'all got to tell me something, okay? How did this man mean the racially insensitive words that he said? How did he mean it? I don't know how he meant it. Well, I do know how he meant it. I'm sorry. But you're going to say, oh, well, I don't know how he meant it. I don't know what he's saying. Come on, he's not really meaning the way you think. Come on, man, it's not that serious. That's what you'll say. I'll tell you what. What if Joe Rogan says something insensitive about your mom or your dad? Is that okay? Like, let's just say if he said something about your mom, like your mom's a whore, and if he kept saying it, it's insensitive. He shouldn't say it, right? And you don't like it. So, see, I always compare that. When black people don't like something, it's like all the races and the people who defend the races, they come up and they start saying, well, it really wasn't that bad. It really wasn't that bad. And when they bring up Whoopi Goldberg, they bring up Whoopi Goldberg, she didn't say nothing racial. I mean, she didn't say no racial slurs. Okay? I mean, yeah, maybe she tried to downplay the Holocaust. She probably tried to. And there's some stuff maybe she shouldn't have said. But honestly, I mean, who was worse? Was it Whoopi Goldberg or was it Joe Rogan? Who was worse? Who was worse? I mean, this man, Joe Rogan dug deep. He dug deep into his racial Rolodex. He went deep into the racial Rolodex. I'm talking about, man, this man went there. And could you imagine if he'll say that stuff on a podcast? What do you think he's saying behind closed doors to his buddies? What do you think he's saying? This man's a racist. Okay, point blank. And guys, he ain't gonna change. Okay, people say, well, races can change, man. Races can change. They can change, yeah. Yeah, I guess. But then I've always learned that when a person is racist, that's really who they are. And, them changing, I don't know, it's hard. But that's who they are. That's who they are. They will always, and look, here's something that a racist will always do. It don't matter how much money they don't have. It don't care how much money they do have. They can be the richest person on the planet, but if that person racist, they're gonna always show their true colors. It's gonna come out. See, racist people, I'm gonna tell you what they do, man. They expose themselves when they get angry. Make a racist person mad. Like if you suspect a person to be racist, make them mad. And they will call you the N-word, or they will call you some kind of racial slur. They'll do it. Okay? Make them upset. You get a racist upset, he'll tell you who he is. Okay? Or if you get him talking politics. See, when black people say, hey, you know what? I wonder why we can't get our reparations. That makes a racist upset. He'll tell you what he thinks. Hey, I'm sick of police brutality. The racist person, he'll tell you what he thinks. Trust me. A racist, it's almost like drugs. Okay, it's almost like trying to get a high. It's almost like trying to get a high. Okay, when you talk about the politics, or you talk about what police brutality, you talk about reparations, you talk about somebody saying the N-word, that racist person, they gonna get sucked into that like they smoking a joint, like they sniffing cocaine. Okay, that stuff is more powerful. They can't resist it. They have to say something. They can't resist it. I'm telling you, it's like they'll go through withdrawal if they can't say something racist. They'll go through withdrawal if they can't have their racial point of view. And this is what I'm trying to explain to y'all. The man's racist. He's already showed time and time again. But see, this time, I'm going to let y'all look at the comments of the people that defend this guy. They're going to defend him on this video. They will. Guys, I want y'all to peep out the comments. I want you to look because everything that what I'm telling y'all, that's what they're going to say.